Okay, I keep forgetting about Google's graphing capabilities, which is just awesome. Anyway, here's our function, e to the x times sine x, and we're going to be on the closed interval between 0 and pi. So we're going to be right here between 0 and, you can see right up here is my coordinates. Okay, so 0 and pi, which is pi is 3.14. So I'm going to just kind of get close. Actually, that's right there. Right there, it crosses the x-axis. So between 0 and pi. So as you can see, there's going to be an absolute max about right here, as you can see, and it looks like that we're going to end up having two minimums here at 0, and then one right here, it looks like at pi. So let's do the math. Man, I just love this graph. Okay. Alright. I don't know what happened there. Well, it's gone now. Okay, so let's see. Y is equal to e to the x times sine x. Working with some trig functions. And it looks like an exponential function there. We're on the closed interval between 0 and pi. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the derivative of this thing. So y prime is equal to, which means we're going to use the product rule. Derivative of the x is e to the x, and then rewrite, plus rewrite e to the x, and the derivative of sine x is cosine x. Okay, check out my video on derivatives. I'll have a link and you can click on that if you forgot how to do this. I'm going to factor out that e to the x. So let's factor e to the x out, and we're left with sine x plus cosine x. And now what we're going to do is, I'm just going to go ahead and set it equal to 0 right there, right? And so we're going to take both of these and set them equal to 0. E to the x, set that equal to 0. Is there anything I can plug in for x here so that we get 0? And no. So no critical numbers going on there. So we can forget that. Set this other factor equal to 0, and that's sine x plus cosine x. So hopefully you're up on your trig. The only thing that's going to get this value that I'm going to be able to plug into here to get this to be 0, and that's going to be 3 pi fourths. Okay, so the sine of 3 pi fourths plus cosine of 3 pi fourths, right, and remember equals 0. This is going to end up being the square root of 2 over 2, and this is going to be minus the square root of 2 over 2, and so therefore we would get 0. So it looks like 3 pi fourths is going to probably end up being our maximum. And so what we're going to do now is plug in both of our endpoints into the function again. So we have y is equal to, we're plugging in 0 e to the 0 times sine of 0, plugging in one of our endpoints, and that's going to be 1. Sine of 0 is 0, so we get 0 out. And then we plug in e to the pi, and sine of pi, and the sine of pi is also going to end up being 0. So as you can see, we're going to have a minimum at 0, and a maximum up here is going to occur at 3 pi fourths.